Wow. We're live! Oh, there we go. Oh, now we're live. Turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are. Here I am to explain, to teach, and create again. Yes, I'm here, and we're going to do some glass. One of the things I'm doing today are these little babies. Little hearts, but not just any little heart. We're going to put a little loop on it, and it's going to look shiny in the black light, under a black light anyway. Little pendants for that. I'm going to do about 2 or 3 of them. I've got enough glass to do it with. And if you have a request, just ask, and we'll see what we can come up with and do for you. Never hurts to ask. But we're going to go ahead and get her going. Well, almost get her going. Well, we're going to get her going. Light her up and kick her in gear. Actually, I had one started, and then I realized, hey, you know what I better do also is zoom this in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And also move this over. There we go, so that you guys got a better... No, that's not center. There we go, that's center. We're going to kick it down a notch. We don't need it that high. What we're doing. This is what we're doing. I already started one, but I'll get into another one real quick. This one's going to be a pendant. Actually, I need to make sure I've got some glass ready for the bale. These are going to be UV reactive. That are all that color in there is UV reactive. I did a whole bunch of cane ahead of time that has some nice swirls, some Illuminati going on. Whole lot of Illuminati going on. Yeah, there we go. I'll do the bale. Bring it down. Connect it together. And there we are. Let it seal. Now's a good time to do some hearts. Oh yeah, Valentine's coming up. Didn't have the heart to tell you that, right? Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's a little early, but hey, what better way to get it there and in the hands of your intended than by getting it done now and getting it out now as well, right? Right. These are pretty simple to do. After you make the cane, of course. The cane is the hardest part. There's one. Actually, let me go ahead and put a bale on this one. I forgot it. And of course, now's a good time. Need one. Sure, Junior. This size that I'm doing with the Illuminati in it, we're talking $14 a piece. Maybe a little less if I make it a little smaller. But the Illuminati is what really makes the price go up in this, because Illuminati is like non-existent anymore to order or buy. And by the way, hi Junior. Sorry I didn't say it earlier. There we go. And there we go. That one's done and ready to go. Nice to see that 11 people are watching. Now with my luck, let me see if I did this. Oh, yep. Even the the bale I just did that with is also UV reactive, so that whole thing is going to be a nice color. Won't do that again. That's what they call Lucy, that that nice pinking UV reactive color that I just did. Let's continue on, do another one. Maybe do even a couple of small marbles as well. Hey Kevin, hey Chris. Nice to see a few people showing up to the party. Right. Again, these are kind of simple, but I already did the color cane ahead of time, and it's basically where I swirled and blobbed color into it, blue, Illuminati, and looks nice one way and the other. No, but I could do one with more Lucy, nothing but the red Lucy. I've got some of that as well, ready to go. Junior asked that question. He says, is that the only one that you have with Lucy on it? Hey Kevin, I said that already, but it's nice to say it again. These hearts are kind of fun. Kind of simple, if you know what you're doing. Just making the glass work for you instead of again you. That's the fun part. Bring that down into a point. Yeah, I can do the next one. I pretty sure I've got some Lucy really handy that I could just do a clear. It would look clear under regular light, but once you put it under a black light, it'll have that fluorescent going on. If that makes any good sense. Hey Gerald, nice to know that people are showing up. And again, if you have any questions while I'm working, never hurts to ask. Of course, the answer could be no, but we'll see about that as well. Sorry. Now the bail. I think that's the one I just said was nothing but Lucy, wasn't it? Yep. No, we're going to do a clear bell on this one. Here we are. Now the bail, I usually just bring it out into a question mark and then let gravity work for me. There we go. Wrong place for that to drop. But it's in one piece, and so is my magnifying glass. No, the purple piece of glass that I have on the in front of the lens there is not a magnifier. It is a filter that you could see inside the flame to give you a little idea. I'll take it off for a second and put a piece of glass in the flame and let you see. Three down. Ready? That's what you would be looking at if I didn't have that filter in front of the flame. Now, let's get some Lucy handy. I know I had a couple of pieces of it handy, but you think I'd find it right offhand? Oh, this will be better. This is nice. You can see that, and then when you put the that'll make a nice heart as well. And then I'll do one with nothing but Lucy. That's got white and a whole bunch of colors going on in there. Nice and pretty. These are all cane that I have done up ahead of time by just layering lines on. Matter of fact, I'll do that. I'll make some cane real quick so you get an idea how to do that as well. That's going to be about enough. We got a big bubble going on here. Let me see if I can get that out of there. Got it. Good stuff. I'm going to swirl this a little wider because it's going to be bigger. And there we go. Now I'll just make the heart out of that. And then I'll do one with nothing but Lucy. I will put all of these in the oven after a while, but at this rate they are good enough to bench cool the way I do them, without exploding on me. And yeah, I've been looking for a filter like this for a long time so you guys could see exactly what's going on inside the flame, and it finally got these on eBay. It's actually 2 of these didymium lenses that people talk about, but I ended up turning around and putting 2 of them together. The one by itself takes a lot of it out, but the second one with the first one, it does a better job so you guys can see what's going on inside the flame. And that has been my ultimate goal for doing glass blowing for a long time. I'll show you what that looks like in just a little while, after it cools. Hey Emil, how you doing today? Okay, let's see if I can get a hold of this corner here. In this corner, some Lucy. Pretty nice color. So basically make that into a heart. I could add a little bit of outer flame, let it melt faster, make it a little bit bigger. Something like this, I could let it go in the $10 to $12 range. Since Lucy is one of the colors that you can resupply, it's the Illuminati that you can't resupply at this stage of the game. 1982, you said you were first year. Yeah, that's correct, Kevin. 1982 is when I started. I was 22 years old. And I'm a little older now. Nice little round ball. Flatten it out a little bit. Now I'll show you something besides using these. This one does have a nice little indent, but if you don't have one of those, you can always use a high precision cutting instrument, a knife, butter knife. Press it in. You can lock it back and forth. Also, if you want to make the gap a little wider, you can press it in there and flip it back and forth like that. There we go. Want that round out a little bit. And we will there we go. Sweet. Hey Lisa, why can't you get any more Illuminati? The reason, Junior, is that they do not make it at this point in time. They've said, oh yeah, we're going to have some done eventually, but it just, due to some laws, or not laws, but they want to, the bureaucracy of making and melting it. There's a lot of make OSHA and all that sort of rah-rah going on with it. But one of these days, they might just come up with some more, or find, you know, a whole stock room full of it somewhere and say, hey, we're back. Right. Hey, Vanessa. Good to see you out and about. Making some hearts at the moment. But I'll make a few other things as well. If anybody's interested in any of these, just drop me a line in Messenger, and or here, and I'll drop you mention you're interested in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do for you. And again, it looks like a clear heart, but once it cools down, that will have that pink color under black light. Right now here, you can't see it, but I turned it on, you can see the light going on, and you can't really see it because once it cools down, then the reaction will happen. Tap and fire polish. Now, oh yeah, let's do one more heart. This time, we're gonna do a dichro heart. Put some dichroic glass into it. Why? Because I can. Right. Here's a nice color. I'll nip it down. You can't see it right offhand, but I can. Had to reach back here and grab it. I'm only going to use like a quarter of that. The reason they call it dichro is because it has a reflective color, like that, and it has a transparent color, which you can see is different. I got some of these items, you will not be disappointed. Thanks, Kevin, for saying that. That's true. And you can usually have it out in the next day mail if you can get it to me before tomorrow, but after that I'm going to be out of town for a little bit of time, and then because I'm going to Las Vegas. There we go. Nice little chunk. Actually, we're going to chunk it down just a little bit more. There we go. That'll do it. Yeah, you can see my fingerprints in there. Silver fumed heart. Yeah, I can do that as well, Lauren. Give me a little while. Never hurts to do several different styles of hearts. And beats me why people don't like hearts sometimes. I haven't a heart to ask them. After this dichro heart, I'll get into a silver heart. And again, if you're interested in these babies, this dichro heart is all going to be in the $12 to $14 range. My prices are very reasonable. Especially if I can sell everything that I make. Now what I'm doing, it's a little off camera. Let me get it a little bit closer so you guys can see. There it is. I'm pressing a Maria that's going to be the size of the dichro, and you can't see it. That means I got to move it out a little bit further there. There we go. There we are. Now you can see me press it in. Making sure it's the right size for the dichro. go. That should be good. And let me see. I'm going to use either green exotic or blue exotic. What should I use? There we go. Heat that up a little bit more. I pressed it into that Maria, and it's now into the bottom of that piece of glass. Doesn't look like much now, but you'll see what it's going to look like after a little bit. I'm going to use, actually it's not blue exotic, it's moon blue is what I'm going to use here. Got some ready to go. And I'm going to layer that just on where the dichro is. And I usually do sort of like a out from the center swirl pattern. There we go. Yeah, I did blue. Sorry, Kevin. It's got blues, whites, greens, but it's basically what they call moon blue, which part of the North Star exotic line of colors. I love using it. Pressed it down. Actually, this might get a little bit bigger than that. Here's my high-tech cutting device. Another one, which is this guy. Pinch it off again, pinch it off. And there we go. Now fire polish that. Oh yeah. I think where it's at is going to be the bottom of the heart. Now give me a second and I'll bring that in so you can see the sparkly, shiny. You can't see it as well as I can, but that's some pretty stuff. Hey Brandon. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. Every little bit helps. Even some that don't. Well, I did, but at the time you guys get to it and the time that it takes a little longer. I did choose the blue and there was some person that chose blue. Sorry about that, Kevin. I can make more. That's the thing about my glass. Buy it, I'll make more. It's that old Dorito commercial. Buy it, we'll make more. Press it down. Oh yeah, looking good. Excuse me. Okay. Now we're going to put a bail on this baby. We're going to take a quick break and show you those UV reactive hearts that I did just a little while ago. Seal it in. Beautiful. That's a very, no, it's not going to last. Very gentle cold seal or cold weld, whatever you want to call it. Now stretch out the bottom part of the heart. And then we'll get right into a silver heart. And then we're going to put one of these Lucy hearts in the middle of a marble. Okay, let's grab some of these. These are all little ones. They are now cool enough that I can touch them. I'm going to take the torch off for a little bit and show you these babies. There's the one with the Lucy veil on it. And the one with Lucy through it looks really, really cool. A light pink under this light. And again, you got the ones with the green and blue swirls going on. That's pretty cool stuff. Oh, here's the Lucy is still a little warm. I don't know if it'll... Yeah, well, boom. Look at that baby. Chong. Clear UV. Clear UV. Who knew, right? Now, silver heart coming up. Won't take long to do that. Just as quick as I've been doing all the rest of them, right? Might help if I had a lighter to light the torch. Oops. The lens dropped while I were doing all that stuff. There we go. Aha. Oh, come on. Stop being stubborn. There we go. That should do it. Silver is a very interesting thing to fume. And gold is also another nice metal that you can fume with that comes out really, really nice. I never have figured out why the silver turns like a gold luster and while the gold turns like a pink and gold luster. Thank you, Lawrence, for saying those are nice. I'm sorry, I have the phone where I can read everything, but it's just a little, I'm paying attention more to the flame than I am what's going on here. I mean on the text, let's just put it that way. But I am trying to answer the questions as people ask them. Now what I just did was I have what I just did is I have an elm arbor just above the torch, and I took a paddle and I pressed this like that, and it brings it a little better. Oh, come on, why are you doing this to me? I guess I need to tighten it up. There we go. We'll tighten it up a little bit better. There. Bring it up. There. High precision cutting instrument. What clear do you use? The cheapest, well, I try not to do Chinese too much, but there is some Chinese in the mix, but most of what I do is American. Like I have some old Kimball that I got a hold of. I also use Cymex. I also use Corning is the Boro that I use most of the time, and it usually gives me the best prices at well, I don't know about the best prices, but where I get my glass usually from is from Mountain Glass Art there in Asheville area. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Mainly because I can order it and they can have it in the mail to me, and within 3 or 4 days I've got what I wanted. I have a couple of times gone up there and got stuff in person, which is pretty cool too. They have a great shop up there. You can sort of just meander around and look and feel like a pinball in a pinball machine. Bing, 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 bouncing around, looking at all the stuff. Well, I try not to burn myself at Kevin. Here's, oh, I better take that off of there. Dang it. I just realized, or did I? Oh, that whole thing that I just did. No, it isn't. Just that. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I gotta watch what I'm doing. I was about to make it the bail out of Lucy again. I noticed the color change. Pinch that off just a little bit more to make sure. That wouldn't be that bad. Okay, now let's try another one for the loop. Let's try this one. This one should do it. Something on the end of it. That's why it's a brighter color. Silver fume. Pretty interesting deal to do. I'm about ready to do that. Just let me finish off this bale here. There we go. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-lie. Cold seal. Let's just pull this out into a point. There we go. By itself, that's a nice little heart. But let's add another dimension to it. Let's see if I got some here. Oh yeah, got some silver ready to go. It's embedded on this piece of boro. And the best results I get from silver is I take it down to just the inner flame, no oxygen on the outer at all, and a very sharp, a light, sort of a, oh, I didn't let it warm it in, it might have popped out. That light bushy type flame. Yeah, I think I lost my piece of silver. Let's sharpen it up just a little bit. Let's see. Pliers. Yeah, I think I lost my piece of silver under the table. Darn. What I'm doing now is sort of pinching it out to see if there's some still in the actual piece of glass. But no, we'll get back to that. I never throw this stuff away. I combine it and swirl it into a rod, and it comes out looking like this, which is pretty cool. That's got silver fumed rod in the middle of it, encased with clear. And some that I do right to the edge. This is a piece that's just silver fumed rod. May not be the prettiest of colors, but it gives you color in a color palette that you didn't have before. So let me see if I've got another piece of silver ready to go. Of course, when you want one, never around. Okay, keep that warm for a little while longer. And I gotta make a piece of silver. Let's see if I can grab that real quick. Whistle and it's not gonna come to me. Oh, that wasn't smart. I just got a couple of things on the table. Or did I put it over here again? Oh, Come on. Here we are. Hey! Oops. Little chunk of silver. This will do. Get that heart back up here. Where'd it go? There it is. Not creative. Yes. And plus, all that glitters, people will pay the gold for. If it shines, people want it. It's one of my sayings. Came up with it many years ago. And you hear a lot of people say, oh, all that glitters, people... All that glitters is not gold. But in my case, all that glitters, people will pay the gold for. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm pressing that piece of silver into the glass I just did. And there it goes. Jumped right over to it. Boom. Look at that. Sweet. Now, one more thing I'm going to do. A little bit of Lucy. Oh wait, here, I'll show you this as well. This is cool enough. Oh yeah. Nice little heart. They all have to go through the oven, but I'll have it out by tomorrow morning and could have it in the mail tomorrow. If anybody wants to buy anything now. Otherwise, it's going to be a while. At least another week. Okay, here we go. First, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Come on, jump out at me. There we go. I guess we'll use this. This will do the job. I bet you this is some of it too, but we'll deal with this. We don't need a really big piece of Lucy, and that's what this is. That should be plenty for what I want to do. How much for that one? $12 plus shipping and handling. You're looking at another $4, so 16 altogether. And if you bought something else, you only pay for shipping once, so if you got 3 or 4 things, boom, it distributes itself over time. I mean, over the weight, or the price, I guess you could say. Press that down into a little heart. Pull that to a point. Now, first step is getting the heart ready to go. Let me make sure that, actually it'll show up really good anyway. As it is. Pretty nice if you ask me. Very cool. Nip it off, fire polish. First step of the game. Second step. Bring out this outer one. After I finish this one, guys, unless you guys got a request, I'm going to call it quits for 3 or 4 hours and maybe come back on later on this evening. Got a few things that's got to be done before I get back on. That should be enough to round it to what I want to do. Yeah, it's big enough to put the heart in. Nice and molten. Press it in. And now the heart is inside the glass. And now I'm going to encase it. And make it into a marble. Just a heart marble. Simple but effective. I'm going to try to keep this down to a smaller one. I can't put it in the oven right now because I'm actually ramping down right now with some stuff that I've got in the oven from last night. Got a whole bunch of quartz figurines inside some marbles. I'm taking those to Vegas to show off, and a whole bunch of my quartz figurines as well. Add just a little bit more to this side and a little bit to the other side, and I'm going to call that one quits as well. There we go. It's going to be a small marble, like I said. But I will put it in the oven tonight. There's a little bit of a bubble in there, but I'm going to leave that as well. Keeps it simple. Yeah, I could make it more detailed and take some more time on it, and I will learn to do that. But sometimes primitive, archaic looks good too. Gets your message across and people like it. Let that round in a little bit. Elongated the marble, but all I have to do is just spin it in this little marble mold, and it'll make it nice and round again. And you can see it, just a hint of the heart shape. Now that it's cooling, you can't see it anymore. Okay. Fire polish that a little bit more on this side. Cold weld. And gently attach. Tap that one off. Fire polish this side a little bit more. Just a little. Sweet. Tap that off. Everywhere you put a cold weld, gotta make sure you fire polish it off. It's better that way. Now, there's that one. nice and cold and nicely shiny metallic silver going on there. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, carpe vitro, and enjoy your day.